Hello, welcome one and all. This is The Top of the World and I'm Simon. This is one of the most epic videos I've made in the last 2.5 years. You'll need a good supply of beverages and snacks and somewhere comfortable to sit and watch this. And we're going to cover a lot of different things today. This is the concluding part of connecting the house to the well, the heating system, everything to do with that, where we bring the house up fully alive and then we shut it down again. There's welding, walking, talking, climbing, crawling, moaning, groaning, coughing, sneezing. We're going to shut a lot of houses down at the end of this video. It's just got everything in it. I hope you enjoy the adventure. And now off to the action. Hello, welcome back to Top of the World. The old tank's gone. The new tank is just outside there. A new 80 litre electric water tank. It's going to solve the problem. We're going to have hot water. What I found out about the old tank was once I drained it down, it still had quite a lot of water in it. And of course when I found it, it was plumbed. Could it have had water in there that's crushed the elements? Yeah. Could it have water in there that's damaged something else? Yeah. Could it have sat on this wall here, freezing and thawing for the last 25 years? Well, it has. Not could it. It has been sat on this wall here. I suspect there was a problem with it 25 years ago, but it's been sat on this wall untouched for 25 years. And each winter it will freeze solid for at least 6 months. There's no insulation in this upper area. There's nothing to stop it from freezing. And it's a problem I'm going to have with the new one. It is a problem. Anyway, and that's a problem with opening and shutting down houses. If a house is heated constantly all the way through the winter, you just don't have these problems. When you then turn the heat off and you try and drain everything down, the outside, the inside, the core, everything freezes solid. It can freeze to -25, -30. Doesn't do things any good. Anyway, we're going to get some fixings on the wall and we're going to hang the new tank. Oh, I never thought about that. Okay, just hold on there a minute. We got this plumbed. We got water flowing through it. Might have these old joints, they keep weeping. Might have a weepy joint there. Right, so we should be able to. Hey, we got lights. Now the great thing about this is it's got various settings underneath, but also it's got a temperature control there. So since we got water flowing through it, I'm going to turn this underneath. That should turn red. Yep. I'm going to turn that to maximum. see what happens. Alright. It's been a few hours. Just pop back, check this, see how we're doing. First thing I notice is the temperature's risen and there's a blue light. Temperature's up and we have a blue light. So, I don't know if that means that that's reached temperature, but we're going to go and see. Oh my god, hot water. That is steaming hot water. I don't know if you can even see the steam rising from that. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Let's try a different room. That is very hot water. That is exactly what we were after. Right, let's see if we can get steam rising up in this one then. Whoop. This one wants to just... There we go. Okay, so we now have hot and cold water everywhere we should have. What I can do now is use the hot water to clean everywhere, but also I've got to clean the doors on the fire and weld the grate. And once we've done that, we can come back, light the fire, warm up the hot water, and we're all good. There we go, that should do it. That takes some breaking. Alright, that's the easy one. Right, that's a chair base done. Off that, it's a 1970s chair. Good job. Shame it weren't done like that when it was new, it wouldn't have broke. Okay, so that's the easy job done. Now then, the hard job. Cast iron grate. For those of you who I'm about to teach to suck eggs, there it is. Okay, so why does these cast iron grates break? Cast iron, it doesn't expand and contract when heated or put under stress. It cracks. So cast iron grates you would think would be a good idea in a fireplace. Only trouble is, continuous stressing will break them, and it has indeed broke this one. Now there's a couple of things I could do here, right? But I want to try and weld it first. So you can't just go ahead and weld cast iron. You just can't. It's just not going to work. What you need to do is you need to heat it 800 to 1200 degrees before you can weld it, and then you can't continuously weld it. You've got to weld it and get out of it. Am I any good at welding cast iron? Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? So we can answer that question again. Can I weld a cast iron grate? Yeah, I have. It's way too hot to touch still. So what I noticed is, this was the original brake up here. What I noticed is, there were cracks. There was obviously a big hole, that's the big hole. And then there was another crack there and another crack there. So I ground them out and preemptively welded them. And there you go. How long will it last? You know, it's cast iron. It's going to get stressed. But it's back together and it'll hold. So if it lasts... How old is that? If it lasts another 20 years, is that good? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Anyway, we can concur. We can weld cast iron. So heat. Heat is the big thing. Short strokes, back whip. And yeah, so what rods am I going to use? All right, okay. How hard is this? So I know all my rods, right? And then I can hear that cooling. And then when I come here, it's all done differently. What are these? What have I just welded that with? Oh yeah, we did. There you go. 7018s. There is an old number on here. Yeah. So they're 7018s. So I've just welded them with 7018s. That's pinging as that cools. Right. We probably want to just heat that up again a bit. Let it cool slowly. As slow as you can. Let's go and have a look at the madness, shall we? It's not madness, it's normal. It's a normal view from out here. This is... Oh, it's cold though. It is cold. Yep, that's really hot. It's got a nice even heat to it. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. You don't always have good success with welding cast iron. What can I say about that? Heat, patience. Yeah, have I had success in the past with cast iron? It's a bit hit and miss with me, cast iron welding. It is. Anyway, where I have got it right, I've got it right. Fortunately, there's not much cast iron that's structural that I would need to weld. So, is that structural? No, no. Would I want to weld structural cast iron? No, I wouldn't. No. Okay. Can you guess where I am? Okay. So we haven't been back at this house for 5 days while we've been waiting for my secret. So I want to know. Do you know, I've got to block up that hole. And we've got the insulation with us today to do that. And we've got the secret weapon for the pipe work. And we've got insulation for that corner where we ripped it out with the massive ant's nest. But that's not the reason why we're right here right now. The reason we're right here right now is this. I can actually turn the pump on now. So that has held pressure for 5 days. So the entire system is pressurised, and it's held pressure like that for 5 days. That's where we're going, into the hole. But for the last time, so I've got my mask before you all start, and I've got my suit, and I've got more insulation, plenty of insulation, but we've come to lay down what makes a lot of what I do, or what I get asked to do, more possible than you might think. So the first time I used this, I actually put it inside a pipe under a cabin running all the way to the well. Now, there were old versions of this I'd come across, and I used to think, why is there electricity going into the water pipe? Anyway, the more I understood what it was I was dealing with, the more I found uses for it. And this very thing is what allows me to run water through the main attic in the old school to put water upstairs. Let's turn you around. This is my secret. And this is a heating cable. And this will go inside pipes, as in inside water pipes, onto water pipes, around water pipes, underneath insulation against water pipes. And it does actually show you all the various ways in which you can deal with it. So, now the other thing that I wanted to bear in mind during this video is my main tripod is broken. Another one. Okay, so this is what I've been waiting for. And this is essentially it. Okay, you have a dead end and you have a live end. You can order these in different lengths, or you can order it on a massive roll and make it up as you go along. So I've got that. There's all kinds of, right, can I give you the company name? Where to acquire such things? Well, actually, there you go, you can freeze that. I actually ordered this from Rinkeby. So I had to get some pipe fittings and replace some pipe. So this I'm going to run today. Fix off the final insulation. So the insulation we put on the new install, on the water pipe, I'm going to take it off, put this to it, put it all back permanently, run it the entire length of the pipe and around the tank and the pipe work in the cellar. What this will do is when the customer says, I'm coming, right, you can go down, plug this in. This will warm the pipe and allow me to put water into it. In addition to that, it will stop the pipe from ever freezing. So if there was an issue in the winter and the pipe was full of water, for whatever reason, and there's all kinds of reasons, there is no heat downstairs. This saves the pipe work. The other thing we've got to do today is the welded grate. Right, this is the welded grate for the fireplace, which is in here. Oh, I need lights. Right, so now we should, oh that's heavy. Alrighty then. Okay, we're also going to light a fire. Since we checked everything, the doors, I didn't bring anything to clean the doors, I forgot about those. Anyway, we can light a fire. We might be able to clean them up with something I've got here. We can light the fire and then we can test the hot air blower. We know that works. I've got the water heater switched on now. Let's turn that back off. So that when we've finished all our work, we can just finally check the hot water, clean all the floors down, clean all the surfaces down. Then we're going to completely drain the house. If I've got enough time today, I've brought a whole bunch of keys with me. We've got to do other drain downs and glycol fills. So, for those that you know all about this, I'm teaching the suck eggs again, glycol. Where do we use glycol? We use glycol in the traps. Because otherwise the water in there will freeze and smash the traps, even cast iron ones. Now we also use it in the toilet, and not forgetting, even though we drain down the system, there's always a bit of water at the bottom. You put glycol in the system, you put it down there, you put it down there. And then in here, what we do is we disconnect the various pipeworks and remove shower taps and shower head, and we'll go and do that in a number of properties. A number of properties are already partially shut down, but we'll need refreshing the glycol, topping up from next year and checking before the hard winter sets in. Now there is some snow left, but it warmed up last night and it rained. So there's a bit of snow left. Have we set fire to that big pile yet? No, we haven't. Okay. So the first thing we've got to do, we've got the water tank on. We're going to light the fire. And then we're going to disappear into that hole. Once we're suited up and ready. And it'll take us a little while because we've got to move along that water line, disconnecting or taking off the insulation I've already put on, getting the pipe onto it. And then there are several ways you can attach that pipe. If you're just attaching that cable to galvanised steel pipe, aluminium foil is the way. You can tie wrap it. You can put it under the insulation, then put the insulation back on, which is what we're going to do. Then when we get to the tank, we're going to tie wrap it to all the pipes that are exposed. I'm hoping I've got enough to do everything that I need to do. I kind of got stuck, and we're going to do this in meters. Pretend it's feet. You get to 25, whatever it is, and then so you can kind of buy 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then from 25 you go to 50. Well, I don't need 50, or 50 of anything. 50 metres, 50 feet. I've got 25 metres there. And that's where sometimes, if I had enough of this type of work, I'd just buy it on the roll. And then I would make up exactly what I needed every time and put a socket on the end and away you go. It's not rocket science. Anyway, we'll see where we go. It's enough rabbiting, let's get on with it. Oh. So for those of you who know me, you know I don't like fires with paper. However, we're not in our normal environment, so we're going to light this fire with paper because I don't have any bark on me, and I do have paper, which is very kindly left. Lighting fires. Anyway, I don't know how successful we're going to be. This wood has come out of the woodshed, presumably also from the 90s. So that's lit well. Zero smoke come out, so it's drawing really very well. So that's quite cool. I've got the blower on. I've got the blower on up here. Yep, and that is blowing out warm air. So I don't know how warm the air is if we turn that up. That's just amazing. It's just absolutely incredible that is already blowing out warm air. Unbelievable. Oh, I'm just blown away by this. How simple. Not lit. 25 years or 26 years that's been stood there empty. And now we're starting to warm the building. Using wood. It's just really cool. It's just really cool. Really cool. Okay. So we now have water. We have hot water, we have cold water, we have flushing everything works. We have heat by way of all electric radiators work, and now we have heat by wood too. So we're going to let that warm up slowly and start preparing to go down and now do our frost protection work. Okay, that's only been on. It's been like 20 minutes. And what's amazing is the air coming out the top there is no longer warm. It's hot. That is hot air. I'm blown away by this. So you can't, I wish I had a thermometer and then I could show you how hot that air is coming out of there. That's hot air. So that'll warm this place. There's obviously no door going up the stairs, so it'll warm this room and it'll warm the room above it. And presumably sooner or later it would warm through here. It's already got a different feel, this room. It's alive. The house is alive. Lights are working, heaters are working, they're not on. The electric heaters are off, but that's working. And that is pumping out a huge amount of hot air. Okay, well, I'm going to take a risk on myself now. I'm going to leave that and disappear down into the cellar to start on this frost protection work. Right. There's nowhere clean to put anything, per se. There's all our new connections. They run our cable up alongside that lot. Okay, so we've got our cable going inside our insulation and up our pipe. Now we're going to backfill all this with soft insulation, and then we're going to take that line all the way down the pipe. What we do here is open up our insulation, push that cable onto the pipe inside, like so. All the way down, and then clip up our insulation like so. Where we've got any gaps, then we'll put tie wraps around these, and we run this the whole length all the way down back to the main area of the cellar. Right, that area is re-insulated, and now I've tie wrapped the pipes, and then I'm sealing up the joint with duct tape, gorilla tape, whatever it is. And we're inside the pipe all the way. Now the cable does not run underneath the tape. The tape's just there to close the final gap and keep it all sealed in. Well, the joints are taped and insulated over here, and it comes out of here. You can see where it comes out of. And now I've got it tie wrapped down to the main inlet pipe. Remember, this is all the stuff that we replaced. This is the original iron pipe going to the kitchen. And I've got it running all the way down that inlet to the bottom there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lag this pipe, and then with the rest of our coil we're going to secure the run to the well and the tank itself. Right, I'm going to show you what I've done before I cover it all up. So the cable comes round the pipe here, down there, past that valve, and goes this way underneath the tank. It comes out underneath the pipe, follows the pipe and the valves and the corners all the way down, comes down here. I have to do a large leap here because you can't squeeze it up. You'll cause a resistance and an overheat. Then it travels back on top of the pipe, up underneath the air pressure switch, underneath the pipe, and then it coils around the tank. Now we don't have to worry too much about heating the top of the tank because this is air, although I have put a single core around. Right, you'll find out why I'm doing that in a minute. Then it comes back out the tank, up the top, back into the pipe, along the first pipe part of the hot water, the cold water to the kitchen, and then comes out here. And then what we do is we take this end, right, and we plug that into this plug socket. Like that, that's it. It's on. And it's working. So now what I'm going to do is insulate and lag all these pipes. Right, and then we'll find out what we're doing for giving the tank some lag. So I've actually, I used a lot more insulation up the end there where we go under the floor and into the bathroom I anticipated. So I had just enough to do what I wanted to do, and I hadn't put any thought into the tank. So obviously we're all lagged down here to here, right, and now this inlet from the well is fully lagged. We can still see our gauge over there, look. Right, we're lagged right up to the tank, and I've got a bit behind it. Well, I came up with this idea of building a little room around here and all. What do I need to? I need some cavity bats and some string, and I can wrap that tank. Now, I need you to bear in mind, we're not trying to heat this tank, right? This is a cold water pressure tank. What we're trying to do is to stop it from freezing and blowing up, because it will explode. This, once it's frozen, you can't get the water out. That's the end of the tank. And it's been in there for 60 years, and I've just rescued the damn thing, and I don't want to blow it up or any of the pipe work. So, I think I can almost guarantee, bad word that, I don't do promises, so we'll do a partial guarantee. I'm absolutely sure I can fire this house up in the winter and have this ready for the owner whenever he needs or wants to come. And there is a need, right? If you don't think there's a need, then you ain't been watching the news around the world. Right? There is a need. The cities are fucking war zones. And not if you don't know why the cities are fucking war zones, then you're asleep and there's nothing I can do to help you. So we'll leave that bit there. But anyway, that, I've got to lag it. I've got to lag it and leave me valves. Anyway, it's warm. It's warming and it's working instantly, just like that. Right, so this makes such a gentle heat. Right, these are designed fit for purpose. This is what it's for. Well, actually, no, that's what it's for. Right, but I'm going to use it on here because I believe with a bit of lagging, that will warm the steel enough to stop it from freezing. Now, in the cellar, with a normal cellar wouldn't freeze necessarily so bad. This one's going to freeze more than most, so we just need to give it a bit of gentle heat. The warmth coming up this pipe here with the water, right, and along there, that is going to keep this pipe from freezing, I hope. It's quite heavily lagged. I could probably do with a bit more around there if I'm honest. Anyway, that's it for down there. What we want to know is how warm, oh my word, it's alive, the house is alive. Right, oh no, you see I hate this cellar, I hate it, look. And that happens every time you come up from down there, even though you can see I've got a rug down there. You can't deal with that long term. So, fortunately, I fixed the water so we can use the shower to wash our boots off. Right, don't watch this. You know you are. Don't watch it. Right. Good Lord, and this just travels up. So, if you needed to regularly go down in the cellar and you were living here, you would want to get some floors in, and wooden floors would do. You don't have to lay the concrete in there. Now I know some of you that have watched this series from the beginning, well you go, well the house is rotten, Simon. Yes it is. Not all of it, right, just the structural part of it is rotten. The rest of it's just fine. So if we just ignore the structural part for now, right, and I reckon the rot in the structure would last another 20 years. That's what I reckon. It would last a lot longer if this place was heated. Can I put structural beams alongside the beams that are rotten? Yeah, I can. Do I need to pull the house down? In light of the current situations, no, I don't. There's a lot I can do to make people... You ain't gonna... You can live. And you can live quite... Oh, look. Oh. Anyway, what we can't do is walk that everywhere else. So the fire's burned right down, obviously, because I've been in the cellar for hours, right? And the heat coming out of there is cooled. So we can turn that off. We can investigate in here. What I can tell you, right, and I can tell you, because I know this for an absolute fact, when this fire was on, it raised the temperature in the bedroom up there, raised the temperature by 20 degrees. Doesn't matter whether you're centigrade or Fahrenheit. Right, it raised it by 20 degrees. There, that's how long I put more logs on that. There we go. And that's me welded grate. And that's how that works. And how you regulate the air into this is by this. That's closed, that's open. So obviously when you light the fire, you have it fully open and then you can close that down. It regulates the air going into there and therefore what goes up the chimney. And I know all this because I might have sat here and had a cup of coffee after I'd finished underneath the floor. Obviously I got my overalls off, I took my overalls off, come up here, sat in front of the fire, had my coffee. Wanted to have my cup of coffee alone, if you don't mind. And yeah, I was able to look at the temperature. It put a lot of heat into this room, but it raised the upstairs temperature by 20 degrees, which is quite incredible, really. All right, so that's that working. Right, I've got to clean this up now, obviously. I've got to put some wood in that box there, obviously. This works. All the heating works. There is just one last thing just to check on. Right, and I'm pretty sure you know what that is, because obviously I'm going to have to clean this place up now. I'm going to lag that tank, but I'm done with the video down in the cellar now. It's going to be time to drain this system down completely, glycol the areas I pointed out, and then this is ready for me to send live. And with the heating element, what I can do is I can plug that in before I switch the pump on. It starts to warm the pipe so it don't freeze when it hits cold water pipe. Anyway, I wonder what happens when we turn this on. Do we think we have hot water now? Warm, come in. Here it comes. Oh yes. And there we have hot water. Lovely, perfect. Ah yeah, that's warmed my hand up, that is. Okay, so let me clean this place back up and then we can wrap this off and say to the customer, your house is ready. Yeah, we haven't done the decking because the weather's turned. Am I going to lie under that decking in this wet and cold? No, I'm not. So there's a few jobs that we needed to do that I haven't done. I haven't got the fan running on this yet either. I might whip this out and take it with me. But other than that, the main infrastructure coming into the building and in the building is now working. And it's fit for occupation. Now, from the comment section, I know some of you have seen all this before and done all this before. So this is for those that haven't, and for those that have, they might learn something. Now, you will see the cellar hatch is on. That's because all the pipes downstairs are drained, the tank is drained, the mains, check valve, one-way valve, that's disconnected, and all the water is drained down. The tank is still draining, the kitchen taps are open. Now this tap, for those that you might not remember, is made up of 3 different taps. Is this connection here, right, really good? No, you have to be really gentle with this, otherwise it's going to pull out. Does the hot water still leak despite a new... Yes, it does. Right, that's just one of those things. That's what I've had to do to make that work. Underneath the sink, I've disconnected my compression fitting. Right, that's all drained down. And what that has drained down is from there to the tap and from there to the ceiling. That pipe. I'd already drained everything from that way to the bathroom, which is why there's only a little bit of water in there, which we don't need there anymore. Right. Yep, the saucepans are out. I need to take those out to get to those fittings. Right, so that's the kitchen done. Disconnected, drained down. Bathroom, it's a bit steamy still, because the only thing that's left draining down now is the hot water tank, and that's done. So those two are at the bottom of all my pipe work. That's mains water in, they're at the bottom. So everything from the shower is disconnected, tap is open. Cold water, tap is open, right? Tap's open. All this pipe work is drained down. Sink, right up in the middle, both drained down. Toilet system is drained down. Now the towel on the top, what that is doing, that is keeping the plunger up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our glycol mix and we're going to run some over the top of the valve there and make sure we've got glycol in there. Yes, we do. Okay. And then what we want to do is pour our glycol in there. Right. See how clean that is compared to what it was like? Very nice. Now we're going to do the same down here. What that does is that stops that trap breaking, and then once we're sure that's finished running, and we are, we're going to pour it in there, and that stops that trap breaking. Are we going to mop up the residue? Yes we are, so it doesn't stain. Okay, so that's good. Then we go to the kitchen. And we pour our glycol in this side. And in this side. Okay. Now we're all done. There's no more floor drains. That's the kitchen taken care of. And the bathroom. We've got nothing upstairs to worry about. Toilet will smash to pieces. The drains will smash to pieces. Everything will smash. Now, bearing in mind that I'm going to be making this place live again in weeks. But can we have minus 30, minus 35 degrees in the meantime? Yes. Is this house going to freeze solid? Yes, it is. So the floors and everything are wet at the moment. I've got this kitchen heater in there on the wall, right, on very low. I'm going to leave that kitchen heater on there on very low for another 2 or 3 days while this dries out. So we're done with our glycol. We're on a full drain down. Our pipe work is disconnected at its lowest points. All the taps are open, and our toilet system and our toilet bowl are full, and these lights are off. Oh. Let's just wipe that bit of glycol. Okay. So that's the bathroom done. Upstairs, the tank is fully drained, switched off and unplugged. That's off and out, and there's some more wood in there. And the fan is off. And that's closed. All I have to do, I'll leave that open, because when I come to live it back up, how we do it is we do it in reverse. You come in a few days earlier and you put the heaters on around the house, the electric heaters, and you warm it gently, and about 2 or 3 hours before you're going to fill it with water, you plug in that green cable. Then you can put all your joints back together, light the fire in the front room, fill everything up with water. Make sure you've got no burst pipes, you've got no leaks, all of that. Let the fire go out, leave the heaters on low, and it's ready for your incoming clients, owners, customers to walk straight into a warm house that is, it's ready. You can cook and you can survive. Right, that is us done on this one. Now we're moving to the next house, which is just a few hundred feet down there. That house we made live this time last year or a bit later. This is the one where we did the wet room upstairs, where the old lady had lived downstairs for years and nobody had been upstairs for 20, 30 years. Similar sort of situation, but this one had been shut down completely since the 80s. That had only actually been empty for a few months, but upstairs hadn't been used for years and years and years. Now we're going to go and check that one. House number 2. Did I think I would be here 4 or 5 hours ago? Yeah, I did. Has that last one taken such a long time? Yeah, it has. But it's done now, and it's drained down, and it's ready. So I don't know if I'm going to get all the houses done today, which was what my plan was. This is house number 2. You can see him running over there. We'll keep the grass cut. We'll look after it. There's been nobody here for a year. Owners are not due back until March. So there we go. I'll just keep it all. Now, something bad has happened this year. I've got an idea, but we're not going down that route yet. Right, there are some windows broken. Right, they weren't broken. Anyway, we won't jump to any conclusions yet. So, alright, well, we can jump to conclusions, because last time I was here I picked up all the glass, and there's more glass, which means more windows have been broken since I was here last. Right, so I'm starting to gather together a picture of what's happened here. Anyway, it's funny because some of you remember from the very early days, the theatre, every pane of glass in that theatre was smashed. I don't know what it is with, do we say it, kids and glass? Anyway, I'm not quite sure where I am, but what I am sure is Casper's having a good run around. I'll let him run around for a bit. So this is a different house altogether. This is not like the last one. Right, the one we've just been working on, we've been working on a really tight budget. This didn't have a budget. I had to give an estimate for the work that had to be done, but there was no budgetary restraints. It's whatever it costs to do the right job, albeit I've always got the customer's best interests at heart. So we're going to go in here, we're going to do the same. We're going to refresh all the glycol and all the drains. I'm going to check for water, disconnect the mains if it's not disconnected, although I'm pretty sure I disconnected it last year. And this is also the house we put all the glycol into the central heating system so that we can shut it down. So last year I was working here all the way through the winter. We had the heating on all the way through the winter. This year we're going to let it freeze. It's going to completely freeze solid, this house, and then we're going to live it up in March. So does this look familiar to some of you? Remember them? Lovely. Right, so we're going to do a check down into the cellar first to make sure we're all good down there. more importantly, what's going on down there. Right, so that should be shut off. Yeah. So because we had the heating on last year, right, this wasn't a danger area. Turn my light off. This wasn't really a danger area. If I don't do something with this cold water pipe, cold water meter is going to explode, even though we've got the water turned off. Because if we were going to do it properly, we would turn the water off at the road and drain this pipe, suck all the water out. We can't. So the green element you've just seen me do, we're going to be installing another one in this cellar on the cold water mains all the way down to the floor. And that will be plugged in and switched on all the time, right the way through the winter. That way we can make this building live when we want. This is the heating system we worked on, right? And this is full of glycol. So this tap should be open. Yes, it is. Right, so the tap's open. So this has had no water in it now for nearly a year. Well, not nearly a year, months. Most of the year, this year, since the winter. But we still have the heating running. So we need to put in a green cable in there. And now what we need to do is go and refresh all the drains. I'm just going to check, generally check everything is good. And some of you remember, see there's a big series on this building, for those that you haven't seen it, because we did all the sewer works last year. For those that you remember, the big job, we did all the drainage. So there is, those of you that have recently joined, enjoyed the series we've just done on that other house and connecting it up, there's another one on this house. So I'll give you a sneaky preview, but now we're finished in the cellar, we have to take our boots off, which is generally not something I do in people's houses. I really, you know, I understand that you don't traipse all your shit around everywhere, but I'm working, I'm in out all the time, and taking my boots off, you know. But there are a few houses where we do take our boots off. And this never used to be one of them, but it is now. Right, so, in here, everything's open, but we really need to renew the glycol in the drains. We'll go and get that. In fact, I should have got the glycol before I took my boots off. Wait. Alright, so we take our boots off. We just have a quick check. And then what we do is we renew our glycol in the drains. Like so. And then we make our way upstairs to that beautiful shower room that we built. So all these stairs were renovated, new banister put up there, you'll all remember, painted. Everything upstairs was renovated. The floors, look at this. A bit of furniture makes a huge difference. Okay, so this is the shower room we did. Lights, oh yeah, I remember. Right, let's do our checks then. See where we are in the toilet. Right, we'll put our glycol into this one. And then into the dreaded floor drain. For those that you remember, what a nightmare this room was. Okay, pour our glycol in there. We should have the right level of glycol in there. There we go. Okay, that's upstairs done. Oh, there I am. So this is a year on. Very nice. Lights off. And again, for those of you who follow regularly, this is the first time and place we used that. So all those lights I fitted, this was our test. I'm not going to show you in these rooms, but I am just going to make sure the windows are intact and everything. That's the brown room. Everything is intact and as it should be. Yeah. Okay. We are good to go. Oh, we almost forgot this other... There's another bathroom, isn't there? This is the old lady's downstairs. Nearly forgot that. Wow, that would have been a fast way to get myself sacked. Oh, I can't. I must sack myself. Right. Yeah. That would have been a bad day. I need to grab a small tool. I'll just go and grab what I need to get this off. So these toilet systems, these modern ones, they're more difficult than the other ones because you can't keep the whole thing up. So we're going to need to use more concentrate in there than the others to stop the system from smashing. And that in there, and then this drain down there. Okay, that's this one done, and then the last one we've got to do in this building is the old defunct toilet downstairs. That's the one that's already broken. Which is this one in here. Well, that's completely empty. Okay. Put our glycol in down there. And I'm assuming that system's empty as well. Right, we're going to leave that empty and empty then. Because there's no water in that. Right. So all I have to do now is come back and fit that heater cable, and we're good to go. This house will freeze over the winter, and like I've already said, we put glycol in the heating system, so we're good there. Turn all the lights off, Simon. Right, house number 3. Okay, house number 3. We do the same. Glycol in the traps. Oh, looks like we're quite good on glycol. Okay, that's this one done. What we are going to do, because we haven't been here since the spring, this is where I've actually been down these stairs on no power. Okay, we don't know why there's no power. We've actually been down these stairs on my back. So they're pretty nasty old set of stairs, these. Now this particular building has got its water shut off from across the road, but we're just checking the cellars we're disconnected there. And that valve is open simply because it is disconnected from across the road, which means that that pipe's had its water sucked out of. So we're just checking for frost push, anything nasty that could have happened. Since the thaw. Okay, house number 4. Looks like we're all good there. Just top it a little. Yeah, that's open. That's all good. That's survived another year. Okay, and you can see this is all disconnected. This there's been nobody here. Let me just check windows. Yeah, there's been nobody here this year, so it's so this is the house where I painted the outside. This is the big red one. I don't know, 2 years ago, where we did the whole of the outside, all the joinery works, all the stone work, and we can just see how that's still looking as good as the day I did it. This one. Alright, perfect. Okay, off to house number 5. Right, house number 5. He's going mad in the cab, I've got to let him out. But I thought I'd turn the camera on before I let him out. Are you ready? Hut! Come on! Come on! Good boy. Good boy. Hut! Have one. Okay, exercised. Yeah, no, we're not going running. So I suppose we could just take a little walk up here. So this is the railway bridge, and for those that don't know, those that know, those that don't know, this is where all the wood came from. That allowed me to build the Canton board shelter, sawmill building, tractor shed. Everything I'm building all come from the railway bridge. So this was renovated last year and all the timbers were replaced, and it's that talking to people, isn't it? I come down here and I spoke to a man and he told me to speak to another man, and I spoke to that man, and eventually I got to the right man, and I said, what are you doing with all the, you know, the stuff that's coming off the bridge? He said, well, we have to dispose of it because it's got all this. I said, well, I could dispose of it for you, and then you haven't got the cost and the aggravation. So we came to an agreement, and everything that come off this bridge, everything, electrics, wood, the sleepers, the whole lot, nails, bolts, screws, everything came off this bridge, came to me. And that's how you do it. Look at this. You ready? There. Anyway, oh, I haven't been up here since. So the ironwork's all been painted and all the timber's been renewed. And all the old stuff is what we built it from. Anyway, nice. Okay, back to what we were doing, I suppose, which is not the last house we've got to do, because there is one more, and that's my friend with a hot tub. He's still in residence until, I think they might be leaving today, actually. But I don't let that house freeze, that goes on to frost protection. But we still do the glide coal, shutting off of the water and everything else. And this is the house we're doing, number 5. This is my brother from another mother. And in life you meet somebody you just click with. And yeah, I just clicked with him. And it could be he's a proper Londoner. And so interestingly enough, quite a few people have asked me but where I come from, my accent. But I don't have an accent, I can pick up any accent real quick. But I'm the first of my generation to be born outside of London. So my entire family, some of which are sitting there watching me now, they're all Londoners, all of them. Both sides of my family are Londoners. And on my side, I was the first one to be born outside. And then my sister was the second one to be born outside. Anyway, I can't tell you, it's about 3 below 0. Oh yeah, I've got my hood. I was just about to say I forgot my hat, but I've got my hoodie on. Thanks, Mum. My hoodie. So I'm not a hoodie person. My mum sent me a care package at my age, right? She's still sending me care packages. Yeah, that's true. And she sent me some hoodies a few years ago. And I was like, well, I don't know why she's done that. I don't wear hoodies. How useful. Right then. Oh. Away we go. Do it all again. And do I need that? Come on then, up, up. Now I'll put him in here while I'm here, because unless I'm working outside, he can do the off here. He don't go far. But what I don't like about it is we're closer to the main road than normal. Right, here we go again. See you later, routine. Just give those a top up. And it is very cold in here. It's kind of interesting when you get, you know, like the house we've been working on, when you warm it up and get everything going, and then you come to the houses and they're just really bad. Electric. No, I've switched it off, hold on. So in all the houses, we're still good on glycol. We just top it up a little bit. Just that. Sink. And floor drain. You see, if these had just got normal water in these, it would have evaporated, and then you get it from the, in this case, the septic. But with glycol in it, it don't evaporate. We just have a quick check in here, make sure it's all good. Check in there. I come here regularly, not in the house, but I come here regularly just to keep the grass down and make sure everything's maintained. Right, and they're easy when they're like that. So in the empty houses, I always shut the power off. I disconnect the water. In this case, it's on its own well, which is there, so it's not so much of an issue. And then when we're spider's web. When we're cutting the grass, we always do an inspection on the outside, and it's good policy to keep the grass cut because it makes there look like there's somebody in residence. Not that we have a problem out here, of course. Not that we have a problem out here, but it doesn't do any harm. That's cold. All right, so that's all bar one of everything shut down, and I think brings this entire video, it must be epic by now, to a conclusion. What have we learned from it? Loads. You learn something every day, and it's always a privilege for me to be able to share what I'm doing with you. So thank you all for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.